I don't come to you today with answers dressed in gold or wrapped in thunder. I come with a whisper that sounds like the wind in your heart, like the quiet moment before a storm. I come not as a preacher or prophet, but as a voice echoing what you already know deep down. Time is running out, and this is your last test. You've been searching, haven't you? For purpose, for peace, for clarity. You've chased it through relationships, through success, through silence. But no matter how far you've run or how much you've gained, something still calls to you. That tug, that ache. It isn't confusion. It's God trying to get your attention. You've heard him before, though you might have ignored it. In the moment you nearly gave up, but didn't. In the stranger who offered kindness when you had nothing left. In the quiet realization that you're still here, still breathing, despite everything. This is not about fear. This is about truth. You are being asked to wake up, to let go of the lies that say you are too broken, too far gone, too late. You are none of those things. You are seen, you are known, you are loved. But love, real love, demands something of you. It asks for your honesty. It asks for your surrender. It asks that you stop pretending, stop performing, stop running. God isn't waiting for perfection. He's waiting for permission. Your permission to step into your life fully. This is your last test. Not a punishment, but an invitation. Not a threat, but a turning point. Will you open the door? Will you finally choose what's eternal over what's easy? Will you let go of what's killing you and reach for what can truly save you? Because here's the truth. No one else can make this decision for you. Not your parents, not your friends, not your past or your pain. This is between you and God, the one who created you, the one who has carried you, even when you didn't know it. You can keep searching, keep stalling, keep numbing, or you can stop right now and say, I'm ready. I don't know how, I don't have it all figured out, but I'm ready. That's all it takes. A heart that's willing, a step toward the light. This is your last test. You already know the answer. God's been waiting, and now, so are you. God is calling you personally. This message isn't abstract or distant, it's meant for you. You've felt his presence before, perhaps not always in grand or dramatic ways, but in quiet moments that lingered longer than expected. In the stillness after a long cry, in the unexpected peace during a storm, in the unexplainable strength that rose up when you should have fallen apart. Those weren't accidents. Those weren't coincidences. That was him, reaching out, gently, consistently, faithfully. And now here it is again, that feeling that this moment, this message is different. That maybe, just maybe, it's not just another string of words, not just another talk about God. Maybe it's something deeper. Maybe it's meant to pierce through the noise and the routine and reach something in you that has been asleep for a long time. That's because it is. This is not just a general message thrown out into the world, hoping someone hears it. This is for you. Specifically, intimately, unmistakably for you. You might be thinking, why me? Maybe you feel unworthy. Maybe you think you've messed up too much, fallen too far, or drifted away too long. But God doesn't call the perfect. He calls the willing. He doesn't wait for you to get everything right before he reaches for you. He reaches for you in the middle of the mess. He calls you when you're unsure, when you're weak, when you're questioning everything. That's when his voice gets louder. Not in volume, but in clarity. Think back. There have been moments, perhaps fleeting, perhaps unforgettable, when something inside you stirred. A longing you couldn't quite name. A desire to be whole. A quiet hope that there's more to life than just surviving. These moments weren't just emotional flickers. They were signs. Signs that God has never stopped calling your name. Even when you stopped listening, even when you filled your life with everything except him. This is not about religion. It's not about rituals or rules. It's about a relationship. God is not interested in you being good enough for him. He already knows everything about you, the pain, the regrets, the secrets, and he still wants you. It doesn't fade when you fail. It doesn't withdraw when you struggle. It simply waits, patient and strong, for you to answer. And still, he doesn't force his way in. That's the mystery of love. It gives freedom. He calls, but he won't push. He knocks, but he won't break down the door. He invites, but the decision is yours. Right now, in this very moment, you are being offered something eternal, a chance to reconnect, a chance to rediscover the God who made you, knows you, and loves you beyond anything you can comprehend. You may feel small or overlooked in this world, but not to God. He sees you. Every moment of your life has been known to him, not just the good, but the painful, the hidden, the real. And yet he still says, come. He still says, I want you. Not the version of you that tries to have it all together, but the real you, the broken, confused, weary, searching version of you. God is calling you personally because you matter to him, because he knows what's ahead and doesn't want you to walk it alone, because he has something for you that no job, relationship, possession, or achievement can ever give. He has peace for your chaos. He has healing for your wounds. He has direction for your confusion. He has purpose for your pain. Don't let this moment slip away. Don't brush it off as coincidence. Somewhere inside you know this is real. You feel the weight of it. Not a burden, but a holy pull. This is the voice you've been needing to hear. This is the love you've been aching for, and it's here, now, calling your name again. Answer it, even if you don't know how. Even if it's just a whisper back, a quiet, I'm listening. That's enough to begin. God's call isn't about your ability, it's about your availability. And right now he's waiting, not with judgment, but with open arms. You don't have to earn this. You just have to respond. This is a test of choice, not punishment. It's not about fear or wrath. It's a final invitation to turn away from what's been draining your soul and choose what truly gives life. Too often, people view God through the lens of consequences, expecting judgment, punishment, or condemnation the moment they make a wrong move. But that's not the heart of God. That's not what this moment is about. What's happening now isn't some divine trap waiting to catch you in failure. It's an open door, a choice laid before you, an act of mercy that gives you one more opportunity to return to what matters most. Life can harden us. Disappointment, betrayal, loss, they all pile up until we begin to believe that the world is just a cruel place, and that God is either absent or angry. But in truth, what feels like harshness is often just a wake-up call. Not every storm is meant to break you. Some are sent to shake you free from the things that have kept you bound. God isn't interested in punishing you. He's trying to rescue you. The pain, the restlessness, the constant feeling that something is missing, these are not curses. They are signs. They are your soul crying out for something real, something lasting, something true. This is the moment where you're being asked to choose. Not because God is threatening you, but because he is offering you something better. He sees the things that are slowly destroying you, the bitterness, the addiction, the fear, the endless pursuit of approval, and he wants to set you free. But he won't force you. He won't override your will. That's the beauty and the burden of love. It must be chosen. And that's what this is. A test of your heart. A moment where you get to decide what path you're going to walk from here on up. You've likely been here before, at a crossroads. Maybe you chose the easier road in the past, the one that promised quick comfort or fast relief. Maybe it numbed the pain for a while. Maybe it distracted you long enough to avoid facing what was really going on. But deep down, you know the truth. None of it healed you. None of it gave you peace. The people, the habits, the empty successes, and now you're here again, not by accident, but by grace, because God loves you too much to let you settle for a life that doesn't fulfill you. And make no mistake, You are capable of choosing differently. You are not too far gone. You are not too weak. Yes, change is hard. Yes, surrender is scary, but you are not alone in it. God doesn't just call you to choose life and then walk away. He walks with you, strengthens you, guides you. The test is not about whether you'll fail again. It's about whether you're willing to trust him enough to let him lead you out of the darkness you've grown used to. This is the choice, to stay in what's familiar but soul-killing, or to step into something unknown but life-giving, to continue carrying the burdens that have worn you down, or to lay them at the feet of the one who can actually carry them. It's not about religion, or perfection, or following every rule. It's about trusting that God's way is better, not always easier, but always richer, deeper, freer. It's about believing that even in your brokenness, even in your doubts, you are being invited into something holy. There's nothing passive about this moment. It's not just another day, not just another message you'll scroll past or forget in an hour. This is sacred. This is your chance to shift the direction of your life, and not because you're being threatened, but because you are being loved, because God sees what's possible for you and doesn't want you to miss it, because he knows what your heart truly needs, even when you don't, because he's offering you life, not just existence, but abundant, joyful, purposeful life. So ask yourself honestly, what's been draining you? What have you been clinging to that hasn't brought you peace? What have you been afraid to let go of, even though it's been slowly pulling you away from who you're meant to be? And more importantly, what would it look like to finally choose differently? To choose healing, to choose light, to choose God. This is your test. Not a test to expose your weakness, but one that reveals your readiness. And somewhere inside you, you know you are ready. Ready to stop running, ready to stop pretending, ready to choose life. We spend so much time trying to appear strong, put together, unshaken, thinking that if we can just perform well enough, look spiritual enough, or fix ourselves quickly enough, maybe then we'll be worthy of coming to God. But that's never been what he asks. God isn't looking for polished exteriors or flawless performances. He's looking for your heart, your real heart. Messy, confused, hurting, searching. He's not waiting for you to become someone else. He's inviting you to come as you are. There's a reason the invitation has never been clean yourself up and then come to me. It has always been come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. That kind of invitation doesn't leave room for pretending. It means he already knows what you're carrying, what you've done, what you're struggling with, and still he says, come. That's grace. That's love. That's what makes this different from anything else you've ever known. People might reject you when you're honest. They might distance themselves when they see the real you, but God never will. In fact, the moment you drop the act, the moment you stop trying to be enough on your own, is the moment he draws even closer. Because honesty creates space for healing. It opens the door for a real relationship, not just religious obligation. God wants more than your effort. He wants your trust. And trust can only grow where honesty lives. Think about the relationships in your life. The deepest, most meaningful ones are built on vulnerability, on the ability to say, I'm not okay, and know the other person will still stay. That's the kind of relationship God wants with you. One where you don't have to pretend. One where you can admit your doubts, your anger, your fear, and still be fully loved. He's not surprised by your humanity. He made you. He knows exactly how fragile your heart is, and he isn't ashamed of your brokenness. This kind of honesty isn't weakness. It's courage. It takes real strength to admit you're not perfect, that you need help, that you can't do it all alone. That's the starting point of real transformation. Not when you fake it, but when you say, God, I'm tired. I've tried to fix this on my own. I've tried to be strong for everyone else, but I can't keep doing it like this. That's where grace rushes in. That's where God begins to rebuild what's been falling apart. You don't need to come with all the answers. You don't need to have every sin conquered or every wound healed. You just need to come with a heart that says, I'm willing. I'm open. I don't know everything, but I want to know you. I want to be changed. That's it. That's the beginning of faith. Not having it all figured out, but being honest about where you are and trusting that God will lead you forward. Perfection has never been the goal. If it were, none of us would stand a chance. The cross wasn't about proving how strong we are. It was about showing how much we're loved, even in our weakness. Jesus didn't die for perfect people. He died for the broken, the lost, the overwhelmed, the ashamed. People just like you and me. People who can't make it on their own. And because of that, you don't have to pretend anymore. You might still struggle, you might still fall, but every time you're honest with God, every time you bring your real self to Him, you are stepping closer to the life He created you for. A life of freedom, not fear. A life of peace, not pressure. A life built on love, not performance. So stop waiting to be perfect. Stop holding yourself to a standard God never set. Just be honest. Come as you are. Let Him meet you there. And watch what He can do with even the smallest, most broken yes. That's all He's asking for. A heart that's real and a soul willing to be made new. Time is short and the moment is now. That's not just a poetic phrase meant to create urgency. It's the reality that too many people ignore until it's too late. We live as though we have endless time, as though the days ahead are guaranteed. That's why this moment matters. That's why the choice you're facing right now isn't something to push aside for another day. You've delayed, doubted, or distracted yourself long enough. This moment could be the turning point you've been waiting for. Even if it doesn't look dramatic or feel overwhelming, think about how many times you've told yourself, I'll get to it tomorrow, or I'll deal with that later. Maybe you've felt a tug on your heart before, a quiet urging to slow down, to reflect, to turn toward God. But you let it pass. Life gets busy, problems pile up, and it's easier to stay in motion than to stop and confront what's going on inside you. You might have thought the timing wasn't right, or that you weren't ready. You might have hoped that eventually things would settle down and you'd get your life in order first. But the truth is, waiting rarely brings clarity. Most of the time, it just deepens the distance between where you are and where you're meant to be. What if this is the moment everything begins to change? Not because your life becomes instantly perfect or your problems vanish overnight, but because you finally decide to stop running, because you stop trying to figure it all out alone, because you recognize that this world with all its distractions and demands has never satisfied your deepest needs. You've tasted what the world offers, its promises of happiness, success, pleasure, and comfort, but none of it has lasted. You've had high moments, yes, but they fade, and then you're left searching again, hoping the next thing will fill the emptiness. But God isn't offering another temporary fix. He's offering transformation, a new beginning, a clean slate, and not tomorrow, now, right now, in this very breath. He's not waiting for you to hit rock bottom or for your circumstances to become unbearable. He's not asking you to clean yourself up first or get everything figured out. He's simply saying, come, trust me, let me lead you forward. That's what makes this moment holy. It's not just another day, it's an invitation, a call to stop drifting, stop hesitating, and start walking in a new direction. Maybe it's the answer to the prayer you haven't had the words to say. Maybe it's the breakthrough you've been longing for without knowing how to reach it. Either way, the time to move is now, not when it's convenient, not when you feel more spiritual, not when you've done enough good to feel worthy. Now, while your heart is still open, while you still feel that gentle pull inside, while you still have the chance to respond. You might feel fear. You might wonder if it's real, if it's worth it, if you're capable of stepping into something different. That's normal. Change is never without discomfort. But courage isn't about being fearless. It's about choosing to move forward even when you're uncertain. And the good news is, you don't have to walk this alone. God doesn't just call you, He walks with you, He strengthens you, He surrounds you with grace for every step you take. So consider this. What if you don't wait? What if you choose now to open your heart, to surrender what's been weighing you down, and to say, God, I don't want to delay anymore. It doesn't have to be dramatic, doesn't have to look impressive, it just has to be real. And if it's real, that's enough. That's the kind of honesty and willingness that changes lives, not in an instant, but day by day, choice by choice, step by step. Time is precious. And while the world tells you there will always be more, experience tells a different story. Moments come and they go. But some moments are more than just time passing. They are divine intersections. They are sacred. They are the kind that mark a before and an after. And this could be one of those moments for you. You don't need all the answers. You just need to answer. With faith, with humility, with a yes that might feel small but carries eternal weight. The moment is now, and it's waiting for you. No one can make the decision for you. This is deeply personal. No one else's faith, love, or opinion can substitute for your own response to God. It doesn't matter how many people around you believe, how many prayers others have whispered over your life, or how many sermons you've heard growing up. In the end, the moment comes when it's just you and God. No voices in the background, no hands to hold yours, no one to speak on your behalf. It's your heart that has to respond. It's your life that has to turn, and it's your decision that will determine the path you take. You can be surrounded by love, raised in faith, supported by people who genuinely want what's best for you, but none of that replaces your own choice. Others can guide you, encourage you, even plead with you, but they cannot say yes for you. They cannot surrender for you. They cannot invite God into your life on your behalf. That's something only you can do. That's the weight and wonder of free will. God doesn't force Himself into your story. He waits. He calls. But He never pushes past the line you draw. He honors your choice because love that isn't chosen isn't love at all. It can be tempting to rely on the faith of others, to think that just being close to people who believe is enough. But belief isn't something you can borrow. It's not inherited or absorbed by proximity. You could live in a house full of devotion, attend every service, know every worship song by heart, and still never have made the decision for yourself. The outer appearance of faith might fool others, but God sees the heart, and what He's looking for is not a perfect record, but a personal response. That response doesn't need to be eloquent. It doesn't need to be dramatic. It just needs to be real. God isn't waiting for a religious performance. He's not impressed by big words or gestures. He's looking for sincerity, for the moment when your soul stops hiding and finally says, I'm ready. I need you. No one else can bring you to that moment. It has to rise from within you. It has to be yours. Sometimes we avoid that moment because it feels overwhelming. We're afraid of what it might mean to fully say yes. We wonder if we'll have to change too much, give up too much, or if we're even capable of staying committed. But those fears are distractions. God never asks you to figure it all out before you come to Him. He just asks for your heart. He'll handle the rest in time. What matters now is whether you're willing to take the first step. Not for anyone else. Not because it's expected of you, but because deep down, you know you need Him. You might feel pressure from people around you, family members who want to see you turn to God, friends who are worried about your choices, spiritual leaders who have spoken into your life. Their intentions might be pure, and their concern might be valid, but still, the decision has to come from you. It won't mean anything until it's your own. God doesn't want a borrowed faith. He wants your faith, your voice, your yet. It's easy to put it off, to think there's still time, to say maybe later, when I'm ready. But if you keep waiting for a moment that feels perfect, you might wait forever. The truth is, readiness isn't about circumstances lining up. It's about your willingness to respond. And sometimes the most life-changing decisions happen in the middle of confusion, fear, or brokenness. You don't need clarity to say yes. You just need honesty. You just need the courage to admit that all the other paths you've tried haven't brought you peace. God is not asking you to understand everything. He's asking you to trust him, to believe that he is who he says he is, and that he will do what he promises. And no one else can believe that for you. They can cheer you on, pray for you, support you, but they cannot walk through the door. Only you can. This is not about pressure. It's about freedom. The freedom to finally take ownership of your soul, your future, your relationship with God. It's a sacred opportunity, a turning point that no one can manufacture for you. And that's what makes it powerful. When it comes from you, it becomes real. When you make the decision with your own heart and voice, it changes everything. The invitation is here. The door is open, and now it's up to you. God's love is still waiting. No matter your past or how far you've strayed, his love is unwavering. This is your chance to say yes, to return, to believe, to begin again. That truth might feel too good to be real, especially if you're carrying shame, regret, or the weight of decisions you wish you could undo. Maybe you've convinced yourself that you've gone too far, made too many mistakes, or stayed away too long. But none of that changes who God is. His love doesn't expire. It doesn't grow cold or give up. It waits, it reaches, and it remains. There's something powerful about knowing you are still loved when you feel least deserving of it. When you're broken, empty, or lost, it's easy to believe that love, especially divine love, is conditional, that it must be earned, proven, deserved. But God's love is different. It's not based on performance or perfection. It's not limited by time or behavior. It is rooted in who he is, not who you are. And who he is has never changed. You might have walked away. You might have chosen other paths, listened to other voices, even rebelled against everything you once believed. But none of that has made God turn away from you. You were never out of his sight. Not for a moment. Even in the silence, even in the darkness, even when you tried to drown out his voice, he was still there, watching, waiting, loving. And now, in this moment, he is still offering you his heart. There is no distance too great that his love cannot reach you. No sin so deep that his grace cannot cover it. No failure so final that he cannot redeem it. God is not waiting with a list of your wrongs. He is not holding your past over your head. He's not here to shame you or condemn you. He's here to welcome you back, to remind you that you are still his, that you've always been his, and that there is still time to come home. The beauty of God's love is that it always leaves room for a new beginning. You don't have to carry the weight of yesterday into tomorrow. You don't have to fix everything before you say yes. You just have to be willing. Willing to turn around. Willing to believe again. Willing to take that first step back toward the one who never stopped loving you. This is your chance, not to start over by your own strength, but to begin again with his. You might think, but I've already had chances. I've already messed them up. Maybe you have. But God's mercy is new every morning. Not just once, not just twice, but again and again. His love doesn't run out because your failures add up. His grace doesn't disappear because you feel like giving up. You are not disqualified. You are not forgotten. You are not beyond reach. The same God who created you is still calling you, not because he needs you, but because he wants you. This moment could be the one where everything changes, not because your circumstances instantly improve, but because your heart finally opens, because you stop running, because you stop letting guilt define you, because you let love win. God isn't asking you to pretend you're fine. He's asking you to be honest, to bring your broken pieces to him, to trust that he can do what you cannot. This love is steady, it is patient, it is forgiving, and it is personal. It's not just a concept or a verse you've heard. It's a living, breathing truth meant for you. You may have ignored it in the past. You may have resisted it. But now, in this quiet moment, you feel it, that pull in your heart, that whisper that tells you there's more, that nudge that says, come back. It's not too late. You don't need fancy words. You don't need to know what happens next. All you need is the courage to say yes. Yes to grace, yes to healing, yes to a love that has never left you. God's love is not waiting on your perfection. It's waiting on your permission. Just say yes. Say yes to hope. Say yes to coming home. Say yes to beginning again, right here, right now. Because his love is still waiting, and it always will be.